Hi everyone, welcome back. I hope you're all taking care of yourselves and having a gentle week. Today we are stepping into one of the most affluent, pristine neighborhoods in London, a place where wealth, intelligence, and high society blend seamlessly together. But behind the heavy, polished doors of a £1.6 million Notting Hill townhouse, a dark, toxic relationship was boiling over. It's a story about a brilliant, creative woman who simply wanted a fresh start, a husband with a dangerous, consuming obsession with control, and a crime so meticulously executed that it left investigators staring at an empty void for decades. This is the deeply unsettling, tragic story of Gracia Morton. In the late 1990s, Gracia was a radiant, incredibly talented 40-year-old Argentine-born violinist. She moved in London's highest cultural circles, known for her sharp mind, her grace, and her absolute devotion to her 4-year-old daughter. Gracia had once believed she found her lifelong partner in Michael Morton. Michael was a 67-year-old millionaire architect, a highly educated English gentleman, and a vocal, old-fashioned Marxist who had spent his career working for the Greater London Council. To the outside world, they were a sophisticated, intellectual power couple, Marx and Mozart, as Michael would later famously describe his ideal life. But beneath that urbane, wealthy exterior lay a completely different reality. Michael was a man ruled by a fierce, volatile temper and an intense need to dominate his family. Gracia spent years navigating his verbal and physical bullying until she finally found the immense courage to pack her bags, take their young daughter, and leave him. She found a new flat in Kensington, keeping her location fiercely guarded, desperately counting down the days until their impending divorce went through. By November 1997, Gracia was looking forward to a bright, free future. The separation had been extraordinarily bitter. Michael was completely devastated by the rejection, begging her to return and even attempting suicide on one occasion. But when he realized she was never coming back, his sadness mutated into pure, financial, and personal rage. He accused her of trying to steal his fortune, specifically focusing on £480,000 he claimed belonged to him. The decree nisi, the final step of their divorce, was due to go through in just a matter of days. On Wednesday, November 12, 1997, Gracia told her solicitor that she was making one final, brief visit to Michael's home in Notting Hill. She wanted to discuss the ongoing dispute over their daughter's schooling. Michael had a deep, visceral hatred for traditional boarding schools, despising what he called posh little schools where little girls went around in straw hats. Gracia, wanting a peaceful resolution, drove her car to his townhouse, stepping past the white columns and into his domain. She was never seen alive again. The next morning, Gracia's car was found parked neatly outside Michael's home. Her mobile phone and her personal belongings were still inside the vehicle. When family members grew frantic and contacted Michael, he calmly claimed that Gracia had simply walked away after their conversation, asking him to look after the car and their 4-year-old daughter for a few days. Because the early hours of a disappearance are so critical, the initial police inquiry made a devastating miscalculation. They treated Gracia's vanishing as a standard missing persons case for 10 full days, giving a millionaire architect with a profound, professional knowledge of building sites ample time to execute a perfect exit strategy. As the days turned into weeks, Gracia's close-knit Argentine family, spearheaded by her brave sister Constanza Lazama, refused to accept Michael's dismissive story. They knew Gracia adored her daughter. She would never simply abandon her child on a whim. The investigation was officially upgraded to a homicide, and the focus shifted entirely onto Michael Morton. But detectives faced a massive, seemingly impossible hurdle. There was no forensic evidence. There were no eyewitnesses, no fingerprints, and most importantly, absolutely no body. This is where Michael's background as a professional architect became a terrifying element of the case. Investigators believed he had utilized his intricate knowledge of local structural renovations, concrete pouring, and building layouts to conceal Gracia's remains. Over the next few years, Scotland Yard launched 3 separate, intensive police investigations. They brought in geologists, forensic archaeologists, and sniffer dogs. They tore up the stone patios, pulled up the floorboards of his Notting Hill townhouse, searched the drains, and excavated woodlands he owned in Oxfordshire. Every single search came up completely empty. Michael watched the police rip his properties apart with a cold, smug detachment. In fact, he turned around and successfully sued the Metropolitan Police for thousands of pounds in property damage. He truly believed he had outwitted the legal system. He played the role of the innocent, grieving husband, even dating a string of new women he met through newspaper personal ads, waiting out the mandatory 7 years so he could legally declare Gracia dead and inherit her remaining fortune. For 6 long years, Michael Morton lived in absolute liberty, confident that the law could never touch him without a body. But inside the police precincts, a dedicated team of detectives kept reviewing the original files. The massive, undeniable breakthrough finally arrived in 2003, hidden inside hours of overlooked, grainy CCTV footage that had been collected during the very first week of Gracia's disappearance. Michael had always confidently maintained to investigators that he had absolutely no idea where Gracia's new Kensington flat was located, vehemently denying that he had ever visited it. But there, captured on a security camera from the day after Gracia vanished, was Michael Morton. The footage showed him calmly walking into Gracia's private apartment block. Most chillingly, he was using her private set of keys to enter her home. Keys that she had carried in her purse the day she went to his house. He entered her flat in the absolute certainty that she would not be there to object, searching for documents or erasing evidence. When detectives confronted Michael with this undeniable video evidence proving he had lied for 6 years, his loud, confident demeanor completely evaporated. He refused to talk anymore, clamping his mouth shut in a permanent, stone-cold silence. It was enough for the Crown Prosecution Service. In October 2003, Michael Morton was officially arrested and charged with the murder of his wife. The legal battle was an absolute marathon. The first Old Bailey trial in 2004 ended in a hung jury, with members unable to reach a definitive verdict due to the lack of a body. But the prosecution fought back, initiating a second retrial in 2005. This time, the court allowed crucial bad character evidence to be introduced, exposing Michael's past history of domestic bullying and violence toward the women in his life. On August 1st, 2005, the jury found 67-year-old Michael Morton guilty of manslaughter, clearing him of the murder charge after the judge noted the killing likely occurred during a sudden, explosive flare-up over their daughter's schooling. He was sentenced to 7 years in prison. He showed absolutely zero emotion as he was led down to the cells. Today, decades have passed since that dark November afternoon in Notting Hill. Michael Morton has completed his sentence and passed away, carrying his secret straight to his own grave. To this day, despite every effort by Scotland Yard, Gracia Morton's body has never been found. The perfect blueprint of his crime remained intact. Gracia was a brilliant musician, a sister, and a mother who simply wanted to give her daughter a peaceful life away from a bully. She deserved to be remembered for her music, not just as a name on a missing persons file. I want to know what you guys think about this incredibly frustrating case. Do you think the law should have given a much harsher sentence to a man who weaponized his professional knowledge to hide his victim? Or did the system do the best it could without a body? Let's talk about it down in the comments. And please keep the discussion deeply respectful of Gracia's family. Thank you for watching, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the next deep dive. Bye.